So, it's really cold outside. I'm gonna go get a haircut. I got a couple errands and trips I have planned through the day, or throughout the day. Oh, please turn on. So I decided to take you guys along with me. So I'm kind of trying something new or something different in which I capture a lot more of my day than I guess what my previous activities has been on YouTube, right? So I post mostly fishing content because that is one of my passions, something I really love and enjoy and will do until I get to the point where I can't do it anymore. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. I have like a sequence of events that I normally go through when I first get to the truck, and it's part of my operating system, and I just do it, and kind of causes me to get distracted from seeing you guys. But yeah, so I guess I don't want to not necessarily pivot, but there's a lot more in my life that goes on than just me going down and exploring waterways. And I want to, they just framed up a house. I want to do a lot more, vlog style content in which I bring you guys in so you guys can see what actually goes on. Because I do come across some interesting things that not stem from, but are, aside from fishing. So with that being said, let's go get some coffee and kind of go through my usual range of motion and see how this turns out. And obviously I'm gonna have to iron some things out and shake the dust off and get used to this again. But that cultural shift is gonna be okay because as you'll see, there's a lot more to this than just getting the line wet. All right, so haircut's done. Gonna head to the house, get clean, get my kid in gear and motivated to get up at the house. So one of the things that I thought I had to do today, or not that I thought I had to do, but that I thought would be ready, was I'm picking up basically I took 2 photos, 2 super old time military photos to Hobby Lobby to have them framed up. They're doing it. I thought they would be ready today or tomorrow, but actually the receipt says they'll be ready on the 23rd. So now I just got to make up a reason to go to Springfield because it's kind of nice out there. If you've been, you kind of know. If you haven't and you get a chance to come to the Midwest and you're anywhere near Springfield, check it out. It's an okay town. They have good food. They have, I don't know if it's the first Bass Pro Shops or the biggest Bass Pro Shop. It's one of the fancy Bass Pros here in the U.S. And there's also, they have the museum there, or an aquarium, or a little bit of both, right? It's a combination of all those things that I just said. And by aquarium, I don't just mean the large fish tank you have at Bass Pro Shop, but you have like an actual aquarium where they have just a bunch of marine life and what have you. It's really cool. I think it's often voted #1 aquarium in the nation. So fact check me on that. I mean, I'm not asserting, but by all means, fact check me on that. What else? There's a Sam's Club, and right outside of Sam's Club there is a little Cuban coffee shop where we had Bailey and I, my daughter, we had some Cuban sandwiches made by a Tampa native. I'm a Tampa native, so it was really cool running into a guy from the same place as me, older gentleman, from the same place as me in the world. So that was pretty cool. We had a conversation, and fun fact, or at least that he shared with me, was he gets his Cuban bread shipped in from Tampa, and a special request. So he gets it 80% complete, so 80% baked, or however the process is, whatever gets it at 80%. And he gets that and brings it in and does the finishing process, the last 20%. And the sandwich was amazing. So it definitely had that Tampa, Florida Cuban sandwich spin on it. And if you know what I'm talking about, then you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we're gonna go and seize the day. So talk to you guys soon. All right, so something kind of wild happened. I was hanging out in the office and just asking chat some things. And I get a knock on the door, and it's a gentleman named Steve. I won't say his last name. So Steve, he's one of the guys that drives around he had a small van, so it was like a small Ford Transit van, and he had beef for sale. And my daughter and I are on the way to Springfield to go to Sam's Club, and one of the things I'm gonna do is buy beef. So after talking to the guy, and he's like, "Hey man, I'll sell you a box of beef, over 41 steaks. They give you the whole. It's $500+. normal, but I want to get rid of it. I want to get what I paid for it. So I paid 250 bucks roughly, give or take, 250 bucks per square. I sat there with the guy, had a conversation, and the way the math was mathing, it's like 42 or 43 steaks for 250 bucks. It's like $5 a steak or something like that, or just under $5 a steak. So I was like, okay, cool. So I went ahead and bought a box, and they're different assorted steaks. There's a couple, poor lighting. There's a couple, well, I say a couple. There are a handful of T-bone, strip steaks, fillets. Then like the restaurant quality stuff they make steak and eggs with or whatever. Yeah, it's so I asked them if they were grass fed, grass finished. They're not grass finished. I think they're finished on what do you call this? Not straw. Goodness, I'm drawing a blank. Yeah, sorry. I ate a lot of carbs and my brain goes haywire, but I can't remember exactly what. Grain. I think they're finished on grain, grass fed, grain finished, whatever. But I mean, it was a pretty good price. Kind of not what I normally get, but I'm gonna go ahead and enjoy it nonetheless. But yeah, I want to share that with you guys again. And also, deep freezer, got this bad boy for free, and it works like a champ. So that's pretty awesome. Yes. Hopefully, I got a decent value bargain. Hopefully, I didn't get ripped off. Let me know in the comments, like down below, if you have any experience with buying boxes of meat, because this is my first time doing it, and the math did math, but we'll see. All right, so we're here at Who Hot, Springfield, Missouri. Daughter's getting her stuff. It's warmed up a bit. Still cold though. All right, cool. She's got everything. All right, so this is Who Hot. She's at the mall here in Springfield, Battlefield Mall. So, time to eat. All right, so this is what I got. Sausage, beef, and shit, alfalfa, some jalapenos. What I got. All right, so that's the action cam in the truck. We're actually going into this Asian World Market. So we got some scoots, and it's the perfect temp. You want to share your story about what happened last time you went to the Asian food market by yourself? No, we won't share the story on how you broke $28 for the dishes with your cart and came back looking like you saw a ghost. It's all good. Maybe next time. But we're about to walk in here and get some treats. All right, yeah, so we're back. My daughter and I were back from our day trip that we took over to Springfield, Missouri. Did a couple things. We went up there, had a pretty late lunch at Who Hot, which is like a Mongolian grill. I'm sure most of you have been to some of these Mongolian grills where you go, you pay for the bowl, and then you kind of go up to the line and you hand it to whomever's going to cook it. And they put it on this gigantic round cooktop, and they're out there banging and clanging, and they have their funny little catchphrases. If you give them a tip, they go, ha ha, Who Hot. So all that stuff. We did that, and then we did some, my short-term memory's freaking cooked today. Hold on, I'm turning you a little bit. If you're wondering, yeah, you're not on a tripod, you're on a box of Miracle Grow that I have for some of my plants here in the room. Yeah, so after Who Hot, we did something. Yeah, we went and got some coffee over at Scooters, which is, I know they have it here in the Midwest. I'm not sure where else they have it. Here in Missouri, we have Scooters. It's a drive-through coffee place, similar to 7 Brew, but not quite. A little smaller, but I almost prefer them to 7 Brew. Nothing against 7 Brew, just I'm kind of partial to Scooters. So anyways, yeah, I went to Scooters, got a couple coffees. Bailey got a matcha, and basically, pretty much the same thing we always get, a coffee and a matcha, and we kind of continued on our way. And then we went to, there's a Goodwill. We're pretty thrifty, right? I'm a pretty thrifty dude. My kids love to thrift with me. I'm sure most people enjoy thrift, just to kind of kill time and see what's going on in there. I did find a pair of Carhartt jeans, some blue Carhartt jeans, which were practically brand damn new. They probably were never worn. And then, my daughter got a couple other things. And I did find a 36-liter hiking backpack, a really nice one. I can't remember the name of the brand, but you'll see it in the future. I'll be sure to kind of display it for you guys so you guys can see it. Kind of one thing I want to do now is, I mean, if you're a subscriber, cool, because you've probably seen most of my videos, which most of them focused around or circled around like fishing. Fishing is what I do. It's a real big hobby and a pastime, and pastime and more so passion, right? I love getting out there, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. I love going out there, exploring new waters, and ideally catching fish. But if not, just getting out there and the pursuit of fish is kind of what it is, among other things, right? So what I want to do is not quite pivot, but in addition to that, bring you guys into a little bit more into the fold of what I do on a daily. There's a lot more. I mean, I guess any YouTubers or anyone who's trying to create content. I'm not a content creator. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm just a guy doing things, right? And trying to get out of the house and be out of doors and explore and learn, right? So one thing I've been doing in the last couple of years is trying to learn more. And I feel like it's finally kind of getting traction. Oftentimes I feel like I'm revving my proverbial engine, but I'm kind of spinning in the mud. I'm looking at sorry, if I look kind of weird, I haven't gotten this down yet. So lens and then the camera, not the camera, sorry, but a small display. So I'm getting kind of locked in on watching myself, which I shouldn't do. And I'm not picking my nose, it's just I feel like an itch, old man things. Yeah, so kind of feel like you're spinning your gears for some time, but I feel like I'm gaining traction. I'm getting my thoughts in order. So like my thoughts over the course of however many months have been like super scrambled and somewhat jumbled. And now that they're kind of coming together, I'm not just thinking about end states and setting goals, but also like actionable steps to get to those goals. And I'll share that throughout these videos I post. I just jotted some notes down so that I don't have to go everything off like the top of the head and memory. But yeah, so try to get my feet underneath me with this channel. So this channel, I want it to be a lot more, to showcase a lot more than just going out there and chasing largemouth bass through wherever I'm at. So what I want to do is just take you on my forays, because I'm almost always out of the house or doing something in and around the house. So I think it's worth capturing and sharing, because it seems like some of the things that people tend to enjoy, and I enjoy too, is like, just kind of sort of being brought along with people's lives, right? Because people are doing things and it's interesting to some degree, not all of it, but there's a lot of interest in what other people are doing, and it kind of jogs your memory or kind of can provide some kind of inspiration for you, the viewer, the person at home watching right now, to kind of use it like a framework and something you want to do, not necessarily copy, or it can be copy. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. But you can go through and get some ideas of where you want to go with something, or maybe a different perspective onto something. So that's pretty cool. And that's kind of where I want to go with this, right? So we could just get my feet underneath me and figure out what's what for me. And then, just bring you along with my personal admin. I call it like admin or housekeeping, right? So whether it's finances or, whether it's, learning how to trade, because that's something that seems to be, the new hotness is people want to be, people learning day trading, not want to be, but people learning day trading and the psychology behind it and how to fund and different avenues and different methods of going through that. So I know jack about shit when it comes to that, but that doesn't mean that I can't pick up a book and therefore learn. And there's a lot of things I have going on aside from just like my the things I want to learn about, right? And mostly to kind of get ahead in life. But I do a lot of things with my truck, fitness. That's a cornerstone of my life, and I know a lot of people appreciate fitness as well. And I'll share my philosophy on fitness, and to the point of ad nauseum. You guys may even get tired of it. My love for outdoors. I'm a huge reptile hobbyist. I've been this could be a whole new video or a whole video on its own, or even a series. But once your boy found out what extinction meant in regards to dinosaurs, I shifted my focus to their living relatives being reptiles and amphibians of today, and birds and what have you, even mammals. But I have been keeping reptiles like I'm 41 now, for the past 30 years or so. And mostly in the form of snakes, right? Snakes and lizards, but more often than not, I've kept snakes. But I love all reptiles and amphibians, and all animals for that matter. Mammals, birds, what have you, fish, obviously. So those are a couple things I want to show you guys, and etc. But go from there. And other things like the way of which I've grown up, like where I'm from, and like what's my history, what's my backstory, the origin of Danny. And kind of bring you guys in to introduce myself and bring you guys up to speed, like what my life has been, education, my career, relationships, friendships, and my mentors, and the list goes on and on. But it's something that I think that I would enjoy sharing, not for like therapeutic sense, but in essence, yeah, kind of sharing those like those chapters of my life and what got me where. Because one thing I like to say is like life is a long running like arithmetic problem. This plus this equals that plus this equals that. And now yet here we are, and I'm in front of a DJI action camera, kind of talking to you guys, and that's kind of one of the things I like to kind of highlight. And then let me see. So, and then the growing pains of creating new habits, whether it's habits with finances or habits with health and fitness, and just or this video, these uploads, right? It's kind of unnatural to just grab a camera and constantly, not constantly, but to periodically and frequently record what's going on in your life. So it's not necessarily something we do all the time, but it's something that I want to kind of establish as a new habit, so that once I do start posting, I can post consistently. Because if it's something I want to do, one, I owe it to myself, and two, if there's anyone interested in this, which I would hope and I would assume so, I owe it to you, right? So whoever's in this community, whoever is on the other side of this lens, whenever you log in and you see I have something new, maybe it may bring some delight to your life. And then potentially live streaming. So a few nights ago, I started trying to crack the code on live streaming. So figuring out what program. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. My cousin knows a little better than I do. And I'll introduce him to you guys. He's a good dude. And we're trying to figure out how to get the live stream, up and hosted and pushed out through YouTube and on a platform, which I can't remember the name for the life of me right now. So just, forgive me on that aspect. But yeah, potentially live stream and figure out what the schedule is for posting, the vlogs or the videos, and when I'm going to do the live streams. I have a full-time job, so that's something I have to work around. I do have competing interests and priorities, but I'm going to do my best to ensure that I place this high up on top of the list, and create that new habit and get through those growing pains, and ultimately learn how to navigate this YouTube environment. So yeah, and even create things like a sign off, right? I'm not there yet. I don't have an intro. I don't have a sign off. No real buzzwords yet, but I hope that that's something that kind of happens sooner rather than later. Excuse me. And yeah, and we get there together. So with that being said, we're starting a journey. We'll go together, and hopefully there's a lot of interaction. I would like to interact with you guys. So if you have any questions, comments, whatever, leave it down in the comments below, or wherever they're at. Right, I haven't even gotten the pointing aspect down yet. But yeah, leave it down in the comments below, and I will read every comment I can that's feasibly possible and get back to you guys. So thanks very much. Have a good night. Oh, look at that, I'm stuttering. Thanks for coming by. Have a good one. Have a good night, and let's make this happen.